Hey guys, Darth Clark here, back with what is probably the full playthrough of the Test Final Revelation. So, we've done the other two test games on my channel. This is a trilogy, but this is the third one. But it looks like that there is at least one other sort of adjacent game. I'm not entirely positive how, I'm pretty sure it's like adjacent, it's like related somehow, but not like in the same way. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the final revelation. So what it was all leading to, what all the questions were for, what it was all about, time will tell. I do have water with me, be sipping on that. And I did do an audio test, hopefully the balancing is okay. And I had to do a couple tests actually, because it was very not okay for most of it. So, but hopefully it is better now. So, okay, here we go. Before experiencing the Test Final Revelation, it's highly recommended that you've played its prequels, The Test and The Test Hypothesis Rising, first before venturing into this experience. You will stand to gain a lot more from this experience if you've played the first two titles, and this examination will also make a bit more sense, and as it carries on from where the last examinations left off. I would like to urge you to go and play The Test, followed by The Test Hypothesis Rising now before venturing forward, and follow the instructions listed throughout the games, as you will certainly get a bigger benefit overall by taking the tests in the order they were meant to be taken in. Would you like to close this game now so you have the opportunity? Alright, I've already played them both. Well then, let us continue. Please make sure you answer each question with the utmost honesty and that you take your time to answer the questions presented. Even answering one question improperly may drastically change your outcome. You cannot go back to answer questions you misanswered, so be sure to take your time. This is of utmost importance. So, just like, oh, I like the piano. That's nice. Now I'm a little hesitant that I turned it down too far, but hopefully not. We'll talk in a second. When the sun comes crashing down and the heroes fade away, when darkness is all around and there is no light of day, I will come back for you, so that you never feel alone. My spirit will push through. Your heart will forever be my home. This kind of sounds familiar. I'm not sure why. And when the world spirals into abyss, I will be standing there. Your embrace, so long I've missed. My soul, my love, I bear. Kind of feel like it got rid of the rhyming scheme there. And when every nerve has been left deadened and every ghost has left its shell, I will bring you back to your heaven as you've rescued me from my hell. Oh, that's so sweet, dude. The feels. My heart. Can't take it. Too sweet. Well, that's cute. That's nice. That's cute. I like that. Also, love the music, by the way. Hopefully the audio balancing is okay. Mercy, I hope so. Oh, here we are. My goodness. Wow, look at that. It's fate from the second one. Anyway, but yeah, so just like in the previous two, my goal is to, you know, answer these as honestly as I can, and you know how the first two worked, so you know, the answers might not be the best answers, like as far as traits they might mean for me, but I'll try to be honest in whatever happens, depending on what this is all about. No matter what happens, I will always love you. Do you promise? With every ounce of my heart and each droplet of my soul, I swear to you. We're gonna find a way out of here. Oh, really? So it was choice and fate, huh? Wonder what that's all about. Alright, the testing room. Oh, hey, this is from the first one. Oh, look, it's Destiny. Wow. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Though I knew that one day we would meet in this room. You see, closely I've been watching you, studying every breath and every move. A few of my former colleagues you may have met, and a slew of questions you've answered without regret. Hey, spitting bars right now. I may be similar, but unlike them still. I'll make you swallow the truth like a bitter pill. Wow, he's spitting bars right now. I will peel the emotion from your soul and make you eat your feelings whole. The questions I ask may be hard to answer, but I will cut the truth from you like a cancer. Both of us know why you're here. To open up and cast out fear. To be as honest as you can. To take angel's wing or devil's hand. And in the end, we both will know how to escape your undertow. Time is on your side, but mistakes are not. Misanswered questions lead to misery wrought. Take time to think before you decide. Dig deep for the answers that live inside. You may not go back, you may not return. Once a decision is made, into your soul 'tis burned. But before we continue, just know this. Your dishonesty would be very remiss. If your answers lack the guidance of truth, then your final destination will be rather uncouth. Wow, that was like really good word use. So with that being said, I need your heart's honesty. You can run from yourself, but you can't run from me. That was so cool, dude. So cool. Wow. Now, let the examination begin. Do you ever feel like you just aren't good enough? I mean, pre-medication, yes. Like, depression does that to you. Generally speaking, these days, when I'm being sincere, no. When I'm in a spiral of being pissed or depressed or whatever, one of the things that comes up is I'm not good enough. But I also know how to recognize that, and I'm a pretty self-aware kind of person. So I'm always like, that's not true. Like, some part of me is like, nope, stop it. The spiral's not healthy. Stop it. So generally speaking, no. You ever feel like you put more effort into friends or relationships than others put back into you? Historically, yes. Most relationships I have, I always feel like I give more than I receive, for sure. You ever feel like your life is going nowhere? I mean, sometimes, but you have to, it's kind of like that spiral thing where you have to remind yourself that that's not true, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's in your control, like, but it's like, do you ever feel like, does it ever come up? Well, the answer is yes, it does come up, but like, it's not entirely true, but sometimes. You ever feel like you're trapped in limbo? Sometimes, yeah. I mean, you can kind of get this Groundhog's Day kind of feeling if your schedule is exactly the same. Like, generally speaking, my schedule is often very similar. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by seemingly trivial tasks? Do you ever feel overwhelmed by seemingly trivial tasks? Yes, yeah, but that's actually a symptom of ADHD. ADHD, one of the things that's very common in ADHD is that, overwhelmed by trivial tasks kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where like something very simple, like, I don't know, think of something really simple, like getting out of bed or showering or whatever for that day, you know what I mean? Like something very simple shouldn't be that big of a deal, but like for someone with ADHD and depression's the same way actually. It's another symptom, it's a really big symptom of depression, is it feels like insurmountable. Like it feels like you could, like, there's no way you could dig deep enough to get it done, especially during depression, but it is a thing for ADHD as well, so, I mean, yes, definitely. You're sometimes afraid of what your future may hold. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty normal. You believe that your friends always treat you the way you deserve to be treated. I mean, I don't have any friends, but the ones I did have didn't always, no. Are you afraid of being the last person alive in your social circle? Not really. Are you afraid of the existence of an afterlife and what that might mean for you? I mean, afraid of it? Not really. Do you feel as though you're wanted in life? Well, it depends on the day. Depends on the day. Most days, no. Do you ever feel like you just don't belong? Yes, sometimes. I mean, often. Do you ever feel like a burden? A burden? No. Have you ever felt left out? Ever felt left out? Definitely. Look, I was a teenager and a kid at one point, alright? Yes. Ever felt like a failure? Yeah, I have in the past at some point. Have you ever felt like you just weren't attractive enough? I mean, when I was like a teenager, like, look, as an adult, I've very much made my peace with who I am, like especially comparatively. But as a teenager, well, like before that kind of like I'm more zen with who I am kind of thing sets in. But I mean, it doesn't set in for everybody. Like, it's a lifelong battle. But like when you're like a teenager and a kid, like, I mean, what you want to fit in, you want to feel like, you're a whatever, attractive enough or whatever. When I was a kid and a teenager, that kind of self-doubt thing was all encompassing and overwhelming most of the time. But, as an adult, your perspective changes on what you think. I mean, hopefully, it doesn't always, but if you work actively towards it, it can change. And for me, it certainly did. But have you ever felt? Yes, I was young at one point. All right, hang on. Have you ever worked yourself sick? Yes, my job is very physical, and it's like 100 degrees most of the summer, and you work yourself sick most work days. So yeah, all the time. You ever have racing thoughts at night that make it difficult for you to get to sleep? Yes. Occasionally, it does happen. You afraid to ask for help? Yes, I never ask for help. Like, death will come first, like 9 times out of 10. I get that from my parents, though. My parents are the same way, which is I will figure it out. Like, within our circle, we'll figure it out, and if we can't, then then I guess we'll figure out how to live without it. And I am very much wired the same way. I just can't ask for help. It's just it's a very big thing. Do you feel like people often criticize you? I mean, not really. Not really. You ever feel judged by your friends or family? At one point, I mean, most of the time recently, no, but I think a large part of it is because I don't really care. Like, I think, if my friends or family had opinions on me that I didn't like, I really don't care if they agree or disagree, so not really. You ever wonder what your purpose is in life? I mean, I feel like everyone's wondered that. If you could turn back time for any reason, would you? Yes. Would you say that you have many regrets in life? Many regrets? I mean, I feel like I have probably, yeah, I guess so. Does meeting new people for the first time make you uncomfortable? Oh my god, yes. Does looking out your window at night make you feel uneasy? Not really. Do you sometimes double check that your doors are locked even though you're certain you've already locked them? Yes, but I do that for lots of things. You ever feel like life is moving too slow? No. Do you ever feel like life is moving too fast? Sometimes. Do you feel uncomfortable when you're home alone? No. Would you consider yourself to be a thoughtful person? Yes, I would. Would you consider yourself to be superficial? Like surface deep, Like just like surface level, Do you ever judge others by the way they look or dress? No, I do not. Would you consider yourself to be high maintenance? Not really. Have you ever been bullied by someone you cared about? Probably. Hang on, I'm like trying to run through my head. Ever been bullied by someone you cared about? I mean, probably at some point, right? Like, we were all teenagers once, probably. Have you ever been a bully to someone you care about? Have I ever been a bully to somebody? I don't feel... Well, no, yes, because when I was younger, when I was a teenager, my cousins and I all lived really near each other, and we hung out as often as we could. And throughout like all of my teenagehood, my cousins and I we lived all in the same basic city, not totally, but we were in the same basic area, and like for like birthdays and when I was a kid too, but mostly as a teenager, for like birthdays and holidays, we would all get together, and then other times too, and like my cousins and I, we liked to do sleepovers as much as we could, and that kind of thing. And when I was younger, when I was younger, like as a teenager, I wasn't super great to my younger cousins. Not all the time, but like when I was with my cousins, I had a couple of them that I was like super close to. I felt like more than others, and I prioritized hanging out with the ones that I felt closer to, like the ones that were more my age. And I feel like I wasn't super kind to my younger cousins, even though they all like my cousins. I feel like a lot of the younger ones like kind of had, I don't know, I was quote unquote the cool cousin, I feel like, and when a lot of us were gamers, and in the cousin circle, I feel like even probably still, generally speaking, I am the best gamer of all of my cousins, and I don't know if that's true for everything, but every time it's been tested, I have proven that to be true, and so it's like I was quote unquote the cool cousin, and so. But I wasn't super great to my younger cousins. It was something that I worked very hard to fix as we got older. Like in my very late teenagehood, but especially in my adulthood, in my 20s. In my adulthood, I tried very hard to turn that around because I felt very bad that I was so not cool to them when we were younger. And so anyway, but ever been a bully? So yeah, I was not great to my younger cousins when I was young. Do you try to keep a low profile to avoid attention from others in a crowded area? Definitely. Do you actively try to avoid busy places, like every day of my life? Would you sometimes rather be alone than surrounded by people you care about? Yes. Does making phone calls make you feel uncomfortable? God, yes. I have really bad phone anxiety. It's nasty. Are you sometimes afraid to confront people, even when they do something that bothers you? I mean, it's sort of this weird line between afraid, is because, like, I generally speaking, I avoid confrontation, and when I was younger, it was definitely fear. It was because I was afraid of confrontation. As an adult, and then even as a teenager, it was something that I kind of discovered in my teenage years too, that I don't like confrontation. I don't. And I will actively work to avoid it if I can, if at all possible. But like when push comes to shove, and the older I got, what it came down to it is I have a line, like a certain point where I will lose my temper, or I will say what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But like the fuse and the line was like very long or whatever. Like, and so it's like I feel like fear is like, you know, I mean, feels very different than I prefer it this way. You know what I mean? And like, but if it comes down to it, I absolutely can like, confront people and say and speak my piece. But I would really prefer not to. And so like I feel like, so are you sometimes makes it sound like modernly, like as you are now, are you sometimes afraid to confront people? And the answer to that modernly would be no. I prefer not to, and I'll actively work to avoid confrontation, but I'm not afraid to do it. So, but I guess I'll say no. You feel uncomfortable when committing to definitive plans for the future. It depends on the. I mean, yeah, I would say so, because it depends on the activity. Because like sometimes when you're booking things in the future, it doesn't sound that bad. But when push comes to shove and it's like time to go to this whatever event or something, like, and then suddenly you keep thinking of all the things you'd rather do than do this, like whatever. If there's some festival and all the family's going, like, you know, and in 6 months, are you excited? And I'm like, absolutely. And then 6 months rolls around, and then it's like you're like, oh, but I work tomorrow, and like I have such little free time, and like I would so much rather stay home and play video games or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, so yes, I would say so. And I've had that since I was a teenager, and it hasn't gone away. Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stay motivated? Not really. I feel like a lot of my issues are fixed by my effort. Not always, but like at least maintained, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have a say, and a lot of that is because of my meds that work. I have meds that work, and so my effort matters now. Anyway, not really. So I used to, for sure. Do you ever fear that you're failing those you care about you most? Not really. Does driving a vehicle give you anxiety? God, no. It's like one of the few times it often lessens anxiety. I mean, like, I find traffic very often very, not anxiety inducing, but more aggravating. Traffic makes me pissed a lot of the time because drivers, especially in Utah, suck a lot. They're very dumb. And I love to drive. I love to drive anything. I love driving my motorcycles. I like driving cars. I love driving anything. And generally speaking, I'm a really good driver. I've driven lots of things I had no experience in, things I didn't know how to drive, and I figured it out on the fly. And generally speaking, I'm a great driver. And I've done it for a living, on and off for most of my adulthood. Yeah, I've done it it's not always the most enjoyable thing because like traffic sucks. But like just driving it is not anxiety inducing. It's only going to be anxiety inducing or anger inducing more likely if the traffic is going to be bad. If traffic's going to be bad, it's probably not going to be very enjoyable. But if it's just going to be cruising and traffic is normal to little, then I will thoroughly enjoy it. So anyway, are you afraid of exploring new places by yourself? Nope. Have you ever carried an object around with you that made you feel more comfortable? Most of the items in my backpack are for this exact reason. So yes, all the time, everywhere I go. If I told you that I could guess your name correctly right now, would you believe me? I mean, it's probably on my Steam somewhere, so I guess I would believe you. Well, based on the answers you provided me so far, if I were to take a guess, I would say that your name starts with letter M, doesn't it? No. That makes sense. Let's be real here. There's literally no way I'd be able to guess your name just by your answers. That'd be ridiculous. Oh, besides, all of you humans look like to me anyhow. Alright, that's fair. Does being around animals bring you a sense of peace? It can. I mean, it can. Like, it depends on the animal. If I'm, like, delivering for my job and whatever, it's like a dog jumping me for like the 8th time that day? Not really. But if it's like whatever, I can think of scenarios where it could. So I guess generally speaking, I guess I'll say yes, because generally speaking it's true. But like there's a lot of situations where it's not going to be true. But I guess generally, yeah. Do you sometimes believe your loved ones are lying to you when they say that they care? Yes. Do you ever feel like you push your loved ones away? No, not really. Oh, he hesitated a lot there. He's like, I don't think that's true. I'm going to have to stop you here. The truth that pours forth is incredibly clear. I hope that you're being honest for your own health. I feel like I've been honest. You could try to lie, but you'll be cheating yourself. I'd like to move on to the next phase of the test. A series of pictures to give your brain a rest. You're going to tell me what emotional response they bring out, which will show me what your mind is pondering about. So feast your eyes upon the art, and let me into your precious heart. Into that precious heart, sorry. Oh, other really cool music. For starters, what emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? I don't know, like the outlying edges being all purple kind of makes me feel like that it's kind of this chaos, like anger, depression kind of thing, or like numbness at least. But like spiraling into the center kind of feels like it's like joy and happiness in the center kind of thing, you know what I mean? So maybe it's like, you know, I don't know, it's kind of like the trip from, maybe relaxation, because it's kind of like starting in bad and working to good, and that's kind of like relaxing, so relaxation, I guess. What word do you feel describes this picture best? Let's see, manic? Not so much manic. It does feel like there's some kind of order here. Trapped, maybe? Because, like, I don't know, like, there's something trapped feeling, I guess. It feels like you're kind of stuck in the spiral. Soulful, maybe. Chaotic, not so much. Beautiful, I mean, it is kind of cool. It is cool looking, but, like, I'm not positive beautiful would be the most. It's like soulful or trapped, maybe? I guess we'll go with trapped, I guess. What do you think this picture is called? I mean, a lot of these sound pretty accurate. I would say the portal? Very interesting. Moving on. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? Okay, now this one to me is like depression or anger or something. I feel like the first thing I thought of is, I don't know, it's like either like depression, anger, or chaos, one of the three. I guess numbness, nah, not so much numbness, but like chaos, depression, or anger. I mean, it's like these spikes may make me think angry, but like a lot of depressed people lash out anyway, so it's like that's kind of related. I guess I'd feel maybe anger, I guess. What word do you feel describes this picture best? Demented kind of gives me this vibes, because it does kind of look like freaky, or like abyss maybe would be a good one. Toxic maybe. I think let's go with demented. What do you think this picture is called? I don't know, maybe like corruption wave? I see. Next, we have this one. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? Ah, okay, now this one to me is like a, I don't know, like a numbness or like or you know, something like that. It's kind of, maybe joy, but to me it's more like a chaos or like a numbness kind of thing. I guess chaos, maybe? What word do you feel best describes this picture best? I don't know, like space, yeah, it very much is like a space vibe. What do you think this picture's called? Reflection of the universe. Noted. Take a look at this one. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? That's like a center of this, and there's kind of these. I don't know, maybe joy, because it's kind of like joy's poking through. Joy, maybe? What word do you feel describes this picture best? I mean, yeah, kind of heavenly, I guess, because that's kind of the vibe I was getting, you know? Heavenly, I would say. What do you think this picture is called? Something like that. Yeah, like Stairway to Heaven, that kind of thing. That's peculiar. Alright, well, I thought that was kind of true. How about this one? Oh, Lord. What emotion do you feel is most present? Okay, this one to me is like definitely like something negative. Kind of depression, I suppose. What word do you feel describes this picture best? Darkness. What do you think this picture is called? Abyssal gaze. I'll make a note of that. And this here. Oh, fancy. Okay. Well. Let me try to think. I mean, it's kind of bright, but like, I don't know, it's kind of like a chaos, maybe? You feel describes this picture best. Prismatic. What do you think it's called? Mind's Eye. I see. Now this one. Ooh. Okay, this, again, I say chaos a lot, but chaos, I would say. What word do you feel best describes this picture? Planetary. What do you think this picture's called? Forming Earth, maybe? How about this? Ooh, okay, this one is like all anger to me. What word do you feel best describes this picture? Yeah, like fury. What do you think this picture's called? Rage incarnate. That's interesting. That you say that. How about this one? Oh, that's lovely. I'd say relaxation. Veil. What are these pictures called? Thought provoked. I'll make a note of that. Now this one. Ooh. Kind of another chaos one to me a little bit. Where do you feel describes his picture best? Warp. I get like Slanesh 40k vibes from this to me. What do you think this picture's called? Ultraviolet. Interesting. Take a look at this. An interesting one. Numbness. Broken. Picture's called I Broke You. It's perfect. Huh. We're almost done. What emotion do you feel is most present here? Another chaos one to me. Absolutely. Vapor. The sludge. Interesting choice. Let's see here. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? I'm kind of or I think I might have said depression, but either one felt kind of true to me. Eclipse. You think his picture's called Solar Blade? All right then. Just a few more. Most present in this one. Another chaos one to me. Yeah, it does. I did think of an eye. I think this picture's called Spiral World. Surprising. Almost finished. I don't know. This one kind of gives me a little more happy vibes, like joy. Nebula. Light Breakening. Very good. Last one. I kind of like the colors. It's kind of another happy one for me. Where do you feel it describes this picture best? Void. Oh, I think it's at hollow. I meant to say voice, whatever. Do you think this is what the picture's called? Warp tunnel. I think that about wraps it up. That was an interesting section. I feel like I was an art analyst, like some sort of high. I have a degree in analyzing art. Your answers have been documented well. Deep into your subconscious they dwell. But I am not finished with you just yet. There are still some truths that have yet to be met. And as a matter of fact, this is only the start. We will have a great deal of fun before we part. So let me challenge you on another level still. I will pick your brain until I get my fill. This next set of questions will test your conscience more. And again, your honesty I do implore. Let us begin. I'm ready. One year, you're running a little low on funds to purchase presents around the holidays. So you decide to spend $1 and get everyone in your family a lottery ticket. You give each of them their own lottery ticket and wish them the best of luck. The drawing is held and one of your family members hits the jackpot, but it's someone who you don't really get along with and just bought a present for out of moral obligation. Yeah. We've all been there. They plan to keep the money all for themselves as they feel like it was their ticket. How does this make you feel? I'm gonna be honest, like, I mean, it was your gift to them, like, you know, it is kind of their ticket. Like, that was kind of my thought, which would be like, I feel like I wouldn't be, like, even if I didn't like them, I feel like I wouldn't be jealous, because here's the thing, I don't really do jealousy, to be honest. Like, when I was younger, maybe, but, like, older, especially in my adult years, I don't really do jealousy. Like, I'm kind of like, it's all very internal, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of the times I'm not jealous. Like, even if I see something that I like some guy has an old school muscle car, very restored, very pretty, I'm gonna look at that car and be like, wow, that's a really pretty car. But my thought would be like, maybe it would be cool if I owned a car like that, but it wouldn't be out of any level of like, you know, I wish it was my car. Like, why does he have that car and I don't? I don't really ever get there. Like, I think like, that's cool. I would love to have one too. Like, it's just kind of like, you know, or whatever. Like, and if I didn't like this family member, I probably like, I might probably wouldn't hit the level of happy, because like, if I don't like them, I probably don't. So I'd probably be, I guess, indifferent, because like, that's just, you know, whatever, luck of the draw. Very well. And what would you wish to do in the situation? I mean, probably nothing. Get them killed so I inherit the money. Probably, again, let them be happy. Probably nothing. If the roles were reversed and you were given a winning lottery ticket, would you share the money with your least favorite family member who bought you the ticket in the first place? Would you share the money? Like, I don't know, like, would I just give them a part of the money? I wouldn't really do that for any of the family, to be honest. Like, if I won the lottery, like, I would do things for the family, but it would be like, I would be spending the money on them for them. Like, it wouldn't be like, you know, here's a 25%, like, have fun. Like, I don't know, like, I always thought, like, if I won the lottery, I would, like, for instance, I would pay off my parents' house. Like, you know, because that kind of thing, right? Because it's a huge thing for them. Like, they know they need to pay off the house. Like, you know, but I wouldn't just like give them the money and be like, spend it how you want. You know what I mean? Like, I would do specific things with it. So there would probably be something done for that family member. I probably would do something for them, but I wouldn't straight up share the money with them. So I guess I would say no, because I might spend it on them, like, but I wouldn't just give them a portion of it, like, as if it was reversed, like, oh man, I won, here, like, let's split it, kind of thing, you know what I mean? So probably not, but I would still spend it on them, but I wouldn't just give them, like, a part of it. I see. Now you're walking through a forest and you come across a black suitcase. Inside the case, there rests $1 million. Wow. Alongside the money, there lies a blood-stained note with only one word written on it. The note simply says, "Don't." How does this make you feel? I mean, if there is blood in there, that's kind of sketchy. I mean, probably anxious? Either anxious or excited, because like if I found the money, I'd be like, I found this money. But at the same time, if there's blood in there, that does mean that blood came from somewhere. And if you know, if there's a bloodstained note, then I'm probably aware there's a bloodstained note. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, even if I saw red on it, like, would I think blood? Like, I mean, how stained is the note? You know, like but I would probably recognize it so long as it wasn't too subtle, and I would probably be anxious because like what if it's like blood money or like you know, like a drug money? I'd probably be anxious more than anything. And what would you do if you were in the situation? I don't know. I might call the cops, like, because like again, like if there's a bloodstained note that says "don't," like that's pretty sketchy. Like, you know, and I don't want to get framed for anything. Like, I mean, for all I know, the police planted it there themselves to see if they could, I don't know, trick somebody into doing something stupid. Like, I don't know. You know, like, I'm a little tempted to take it because, of course, money, but like I would either call the cops or do nothing. I feel like I'm almost more inclined to do nothing. Like, I mean, but at the same time, if my fingerprints are on it, then like, because if I touch the case, that means my hands have been on it, and if I opened it up to see what was in, touch the note, then my fingerprints are there, and if it gets like found, and if it ever got like fingerprints got like taken on it, if they found my hands and I didn't say anything, that's pretty sketchy. So I guess I'd probably just call the cops, just so I didn't get in trouble. If the note wasn't covered in blood, would it change your decision at all? Yes, probably. Interesting. I would do something different. If there was no blood on the note, I probably would have been like, oh, neat, and just taken it. The devil appears in your room at night while you're alone and just about to fall asleep and tells you that he has a special one-time offer for you. All right, sorry, I was still thinking about the money. The devil appears in your room at night while you're alone and just about to fall asleep and tells you that he has a special one-time offer for you. Okay, in exchange for your soul and eternal damnation, he'll let you choose from one of 3 glorious bargains. He has not told you what those bargains are yet. How does this make you feel? I mean, like, Angry or scared. Like, because I do think he's real. I'm not intrigued because it's the devil. You know, I'm probably more angry than scared. Like, oh my god, get out of here. Like, one of the two, but I guess we'll go with angry. The devil then goes on to reassure you that whether or not you believe him to truly be the devil, he surely is, and to prove his point, he demonstrates magnificent magical prowess and drags you to hell for a split second before transporting you back to your bedroom. I already believed him. In that second, you could feel a lifetime of pain and suffering in the most unimaginable ways possible. Yikes. He then goes on to tell you that of his offers in exchange for your soul to see if you can strike a bargain. Which of these would you choose in exchange for your soul, if any? So all the wealth and power in the world, you'll never age, but you can still die from physical injury. You can bring one person back from the dead, or I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil. If the devil offered you a deal of some other kind, would you accept it in exchange for eternal damnation? No. Like, get out of my face, dude. Like, leave. Like, I already believed you were real. Get out of here. Civilization is about to come to an end, and as a plague sweeps the globe, turning everyone who perishes into mindless zombies who hunger for living flesh, it's like my dream come true. I would do so well in the zombie apocalypse, finally. Anyway, you watch as everyone you know becomes gravely ill and turns, except for 5 of your closest friends and family. How does this make you feel? That's actually, like, comparatively, that's actually pretty easy, because my immediate family is less than 5. So it's like, cool, I have an extra. I have an extra slot for somebody. I could choose, neato. Anyway, I mean, I don't know, like, in some ways sad, because, like, no world means no more internet, no more video games, no more, you know, no more anime. You know what I mean? So it's like, in some ways, like, it is kind of sad, because, like, a lot of my mainstays of my life are gone, but, like, at the same time, there is a large part of me that's kind of excited. I don't know, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, I always felt like I would do really well in the zombie apocalypse, and, like, you know, I don't know, I feel like I'm a little torn, because, like, you know, there's a large parts of the world that I don't like, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's not so bad if it got ended, but, like, there's a lot of it that, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm kind of torn, you know what I mean? I don't know, like, I feel like I'd be more excited than depressed, maybe? Yeah, I think so. If you knew that a zombie apocalypse was coming in 10 years from now and you could prevent it from happening, would you? I mean, if I could actively prevent it, probably? Probably? It depends on how I could prevent it. Like, am I going to profit from it? Is there something in it for me? I mean, I don't know. Would I? If I knew it was coming and I could stop it, would I? Probably. I feel like if it happened, like, and I had no way of knowing or anything, then, like, I feel like I would adapt, and I would just adapt, whatever. Like, there's a large part of me that was pretty stoked anyway. But, like, if I knew it was coming and I could stop it and I chose not to, I feel like that is a different level of something. I feel like I would stop it if I could, but, like, because I knew, and I feel like just sitting on the knowledge feels like a really like, morally bad thing to do. So I probably would stop it if I could. If it happened against, you know, without my knowledge, that's one thing, but... Anyway, you've been working at a company for 10 years, and you've promised a very important and incredibly lucrative promotion. Nice. However, someone hired only a number of weeks ago has just been promoted to the position that you were promised. I already tell you what my reaction's gonna be. Your boss essentially tells you tough luck, and that maybe one day you'll get the position, and that he had to promote the other employees a favor for a friend. How does this make you feel? Pissed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they told me I would be pissed more than anything. I would be irate. You've also learned a few secrets about the company that could be disastrous if they were to escape, such as the fact that they haven't been properly reporting their income for the last decade. Oops. What would you wish to do in this situation? I probably wouldn't. I might. I'm like thinking back on things. Either I would straight up quit. Like, I wouldn't sabotage, and I probably wouldn't do nothing. I would either quit and leave, which is very likely, or a little part about me is, like, tell the boss, like, look, like, I've been here for 10 years. I was promised that position, and you just, out from under me, you hired someone else and just gave him this promotion that you told me was mine. Like, That is, you know, that's BS. And so I felt like I would either like lay it out for him, like, look, we either get this fixed or I will report you for fraud because you know they're guilty of it. Like, and if nothing happens, well, then I knew I was leaving anyway. So I probably would threaten my boss for fraud because he is a fraud, and like, and I'm pissed. And like, worst case scenario, they fire me. Well, like, I was literally, the other option I would do is leave and I would find a new job. So it's like one of those two things. I probably would threaten him, to be honest. Not like physically violence or anything, but I would tell him like, look, you're a fraud, and I can prove it. So you like, look, you either like, and I don't want like outrageous something, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm just in this for like, you know, you give me $1 million and maybe I'll look the other way kind of thing. Like, just give me the position that you said I would, you said I would get, you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of the end of it. Anyway, if the roles were reversed and you were hired and promoted as a favor over someone more deserving, would you accept the position? Honestly, I mean, it's selfish, but probably. Because, like, that other employee didn't know. Like, you know, like, the other employee, he just, like, applied at this job, but he saw I had an opening, he took the position. Like, I feel like in his case, he feels like, well, like, look, I didn't know. Like, and you know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of not really his fault, like the other guy, you know what I mean? Which is why I didn't really involve him, because he doesn't know there's this politics behind the scenes. So, probably. I see. Very interesting. I know it wasn't a very good thing. You're home alone at night, cooking food in your kitchen, and you turn around to realize there's someone is watching you through the window in the darkness. Creepy. They have their face and hands pressed up against the window, and they make direct eye contact with you before turning and running out of sight around the other side of the house. How does this make you feel? I mean, anxious. Either anxious or protective. I mean, a little bit of both, but I think I would go for, because like in a crisis, my mind goes into how do I deal with this kind of thing. Like, it just goes right into like you know, like anxiety and like, I don't know, anger and other things tend to like get pushed back a little bit, get like pushed down in favor of like just deal with it. You know what I mean? Figure out how to survive it. And so I go into like crisis, like, you know, damage control mode, like in cases of crisis. So I'd probably be protective, like protect my family, and if that's the case, or my house, whatever that is. And if someone really was like around my house, I would get my gun. So I would grab the nearest weapon and prepare myself. That's what I would do. If the face you saw in the window was the face of a supernatural entity and not of a human being, would your answer change? Yeah, I wouldn't go for my gun. I'm gonna present you with some more potential scenarios, but I'm going to ask for more simplistic answers as a result. Here we go. Alright, you're not feeling all too well, so you decide to go to the doctor. The doctor runs a series of tests and gets back to you shortly after to announce some grave news. It turns out that you've contracted an incredibly rare illness that there's currently no cure for. Wow. This illness causes complete body paralysis within 6 months of contraction, meaning that in less than half a year from now, you will be rendered unable to move, blink, talk, or any form of expression whatsoever. Wow. You will need to be kept alive on a feeding tube, and you'll never be able to communicate with anyone ever again, just being kept alive on machines in a vegetative state. Would you want to be kept alive in that state, or would you rather have the plug pulled when that happens? Pull the plug. Absolutely not. How would you like to spend the last 6 months of your life while still mobile? Probably one of the two. I'd either spending it with friends and family, but I feel like this is kind of included in the friends and family thing, because I would just like live the last 6 months like it was everything I ever wanted, you know what I mean? And then that would include spending time with friends and family, but like it also includes everything else. There are diseases out there that can put you in that sort of unfortunate situation. Does knowing this motivate you to do things you've never done before and pursue more from life, or do you feel relatively unaffected by the knowledge that this could potentially happen to you at any point in time? I mean, like, I was already sort of motivated. Like, I was already in that, like, you know, take life by the horns, you know, chase the dream kind of thing. So I was already motivated to strive for a better future, but, like, I already sort of, like, I mean, I could have low-key told you that there's, like, bad crap out there. I mean, I could be hit by a bus tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that could happen for any of us. So you should always live your life like you were, you know, ready to party it up one last time. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, does it really change it? Because I already have that mentality of, like, yeah, let's do it, man. Take life by the horns. Noted. You have a pet dog whom you've raised since its birth. 3 years have passed, and it's the best dog you've ever had. You love it like it's your own child, and one day he runs away in the middle of the night, chasing after a wild animal in the darkness. You search everywhere for your dog, but no matter what you do, you can't seem to make any progress. About a month passes, and you still haven't seen any trace of your four-legged friend, until one morning you awaken to a sound of familiar barking. You rush outside to find that your elderly neighbor in his late 80s is out on his front lawn, joyously playing with your dog. He has named the beast Johnny, and him and your dog seem to be having the time of their lives. You rush over there and hug your dog, and he excitedly licks your face. Your neighbor says, Johnny's a good boy, isn't he? I lost him when I was just a boy about your age, but he's come back. Johnny has come back, and we're together again. Come to find out, your elderly neighbor is suffering from dementia, recently brought on by his stress and heartache of losing his wife just a couple of months prior to finding your dog. Oh no. This dementia has caused him to believe that your dog, Johnny, is his old dog from his childhood coming back into his life to make him happy and keep him company. Oh god. This dog seems to be in great shape, very happy and well looked after, and you know that telling the old man that it isn't really his dog and that it's your dog would break his heart and crush him. Would you break the news to him that it isn't his dog and take Johnny home with you, or would you let him keep the dog and choose to visit him daily to play and go for walks? I would probably let him keep the dog, like because if I knew all of that, like I probably wouldn't take the dog back. Look, I loved this dog, but like the fact is I could get another dog and the dog isn't dead. He's all like, you know, it's like the dog's still alive, having the time of his life at this older guy's house, like who doesn't have anybody else, like, and that's a very like good Samaritan kind of thing to do. Like, and I can get another dog for my daily I need company, and I can visit the other dog. He's like a neighbor of mine, right? So I'll probably see him all the time. So I guess I'd let the old man keep him. Did that story make you sad at all? Yeah, it was a very sad story. Can you imagine yourself in that old man's position, being so alone in life and finding one thing that makes you feel less alone and potentially having to face it being ripped away from you once again? Can you imagine yourself? Yeah, I can't imagine that. I mean, like, sort of. Like, I can, like, sort of low-key imagine it, but, like, unless you experienced it, you probably can't really imagine it, you know. Next question. Let's say that you were viciously murdered by a serial killer and you fell for one of their traps as they lured you in and made you their latest victim. Yikes. After all the documentaries I've seen and all the serial killer crime stuff I watch and I didn't see it coming, how did that happen? Anyway, now let's also say that you're given a unique opportunity in the afterlife as you return as a spirit to roam the earth. However, you're bound to two potential options and only two. You can either choose to haunt your assailant and make his life miserable, hopefully foiling his plans to kill in the future and potentially save lives in the process, or you can choose to spend your time as a spirit amongst your still living family and friends, guiding them in positive ways and making their lives better. Alright, you're bound to whichever option you choose until either your family or friends are no longer living or your killer's no longer living. You cannot choose both. What will you do? I feel like I wouldn't want to stay with my friends and family, gonna be honest, because like I feel like their lives, I mean, yeah, they would be sad for a while probably, but like they're gonna eventually move on, like, you know, and I feel like they probably wouldn't, like, even if they felt like that there was something going on, they felt like there was whatever, a presence here or a spirit or a guardian angel or whatever, like I feel like they probably wouldn't know it was me specifically, or even if they guessed, like I feel like me watching them move on with their lives over time would be depressing, like very depressing, because they probably would just move on. It probably wouldn't take that long either. So I feel like I would rather choose to haunt my killer to try and stop him from like doing this to anybody else, because like I feel like that's a better use of my time and it would hurt less than watching my family just move on with their lives. So I'd probably choose to haunt my killer, to be honest. You think you have what it takes to inside you to drive a killer insane and push him over the edge? Oh yeah. Definitely. Do you believe this scenario is possible? Like, really? No. If the situation happened to a friend or family member and they were viciously killed, which situation would you rather them choose? Well, I'd rather they would choose to stay with friends and family, because, like, you know, it's different when it's someone else. Next question. One night you go to sleep and get a good rest that feels like the best sleep you've ever had. You wake up in an unfamiliar room in an unfamiliar bed. You look in the mirror and you hardly recognize yourself. You look as though you've aged 20 years. There's a sticky note on the television screen that says press play, so you oblige the note and hit the play button to reveal a message that has been left to you by all of your friends and family that are still alive and well, though they all seem to be 20 years older as well. They explain to you that every single day for the last 20 years, you've repeated the same day, over and over again. Oh my god. Due to a severe head injury, your memory doesn't last more than 24 hours, so each day when you sleep, all recollection of what took place 24 hours prior is wiped entirely. Your loved ones have made a video for you to let you have a say in your potential future. You have the option of either watching this video every single day so you know what's going on and can continue to progress your life, even though you won't have any recollection of it, or you can choose to continue living as you have been, repeating the same day over and over again and living in ignorant bliss. Which would you choose to do? And again, it's like if your memory was reset every 24 hours, you would know. You're like, so tomorrow, do I want to wake up and watch this video and learn that this is happening to me, or would I rather get rid of the tape while I'm aware of it now, so that the next time I wake up, I'm unaware. I feel like I would rather live happily unknowing rather than knowing and just being stuck in this loop without a way of like fixing anything. I feel like. Because I don't know, I mean, because you could progress your life, like, assuming the video got updated, like, every so often, like, you could still progress your life, you know what I mean? You just, like, I don't know, like, so long as you included in the video that, like, you, like, some of the things you might have done, like, this is what you did and this is what you did, then the next time you woke up and it got reset, you could watch it and be like, okay, so, you know, yes, this is happening, but I've gotten a lot done in my life. Like, it's not like I wasted the time, you know what I mean? So I feel like so long as the video was getting updated, I think I would rather know, because you could still live your life, even if it's obviously not the same as what you would want, I feel like. Would you be upset if your family kept the truth from you for 20 years, even though they felt like it was for your own good? I mean, if I learned that they were doing that, probably not. Probably not. If your best friend was in this situation, would you make a video for them telling them the truth, or would you repeat every day exactly the same for them in order to keep them happy, never letting them know the truth? I would make a video. I would tell them. I would want the choice to be theirs on what they did. I will take note of your answer. You've come to find, through frantic digging in the attic and the reading of old files and newspapers, that your parents are famed psychologists. There we go. God, I couldn't like remember the word. Also, I said archaeologists because I just saw the ologists. Anyway, you've also come to find that they aren't really your parents. In fact, they're not even related to you at all. I'm adopted. From what you can gather through your new discoveries, a story tells of a young child who developed psychotic tendencies and went into a trance before murdering their parents, in a tragically brutal way. However, that child suffered so much trauma from the event of the loss of their parents that once the trance had worn off, that they repressed the memory of their parents' deaths, blocking it completely from their mind. 2 psychologists took the child into treatment and performed studies against the child's knowledge, raising that child to be a fully functional adult while playing the role of the child's real parents to further gather data and potentially help with that child avoid a terrible life in the process. You are that child. So I killed my parents in a trance. Would you resent your parents? Like the fake ones or like my real ones? No. Would you be grateful that they gave you... Well, okay, so like when they say parents, he means like the archaeologist feigning as my parents. But if they really raised me for like that, if they really raised me, then they are my parents. Like, they're not my birth parents maybe, but like if they put in all the work to raise me and they did it for lots of reasons, but one of them was so that I could live a happy, functional life, they are my parents. You know, not my birth parents, but they are my parents. So would you be grateful they give you a second life? Yeah. Would you feel betrayed by your parents? No. Would you confront your parents about the articles you found? Maybe. I also could see myself figuring it out and wanting to keep it quiet, so like they weren't aware. Probably not. If you were in your parents' position, would you do the same for the child in a similar situation? If I was like a psychologist, I mean, probably, sure, maybe. Interesting. I have one final scenario for you before we move on. The end of the world has come and gone, and all that is left are post-apocalyptic soldiers roaming the lands, combing through towns, and laying waste to any survivors on their path in hope of claiming their equipment for themselves in order to survive this harsh, barren wasteland known as planet Earth. So it's kind of like Fallout 4. Or, you know, Fallout universe, not just 4. You get in good with a large colony of soldiers and spend about 6 months with them before they decide that you're not pulling your weight. In order to save the very few food rations they have left, they exile you from the compound and send you out to fend for yourself. You decide to venture into a neighboring town in hopes of finding food that was left behind by raiders, and it only takes about a day and a half before you strike gold, a hidden underground bunker stockpiled to the brim with enough food to feed an entire colony for a year. Now you have a few choices to make. Would you go back to the colony and tell them about the bunker, or would you stay in the bunker all by yourself? Well, that's easy. They kicked me out. They're like, we don't think you're pulling your weight. I'd be like, oh yeah? Well, screw you. Yeah, I would absolutely keep it for myself. They made their choice by kicking me out. Guess they were wrong. If you could choose to only tell some of the soldiers about the bunker and let them in so they could lead a new colony, but exile the soldiers who exiled you, would you do it? Hey, there you go. Yeah, if I had like people that I knew weren't in on the decision and they wouldn't agree, yeah, I would like recruit allies. If you were to lead a new colony, would you build it based on savagery and raiding, or would you build it based on sharing and compassion? Well, if you're being, I mean, like, there's a large part of me that's like, yeah, savagery and raiding, bad guys, like, but I'm like, trying to be realistic. It's actually me here, so probably sharing and compassion. If you were the leader of the colony that exiled you, except it was you who exiled someone else who wasn't pulling their weight, and that person just so happened to find themselves in a similar situation where they found a jackpot worth of food in an underground bunker, but they refused to share with you and the colony, would you raid them and steal it for yourselves, or would you let them keep what they found? If I was in power of this colony and this guy wasn't pulling his weight and I kicked his ass out, and then he found this bunker full of food, and I could have used it to, like, I somehow figured out that he found it. Would I jump him and try to, like, you know, like, whatever, with my fellow colony people and get that food, or would I tell him he could keep it? Like, the morally right thing to do would be let him keep it, because I didn't find it, and that is what it is. But, like, there's some part of you that's like, he's one guy, and if it was him, and if he wasn't pulling his weight, and if I was right in exiling him, well, like, I have to lead this colony, you know what I mean? Like, and I have to save their lives, and if he really wasn't pulling his weight, then I was justified in getting rid of him. Then maybe going after him and getting the food, like, so I can feed this colony is fine, because, like, that if I'm the leader, like, it's my job to like make sure these people don't die. I might take the bunker, because if I exile them, he's probably a dirtbag anyway. So it's like, you know. Anyway, well, that wraps up this portion of the test. But I need more from you before I allow you to rest. A choice here, a choice there. Which would you rather? Moral dilemmas abound from what I can gather. And you will answer clearly, crisp, and concise. Will you be selfish, or is your conscience a vice? Is it in just mere moments from now we both shall see the difference between who you are and who you wish to be. I love his rhymes, they're so good. Let us begin. Would you rather abandon the person you love most, or be abandoned by the person you love most? Oh my god. I would rather be abandoned, I think, because abandon the person is I mean, if you're abandoning them, that's a betrayal. Like, and we've talked about it before, I have zero tolerance for betrayal of any kind. When I get, like, betrayed by somebody, there's a very high shot that I mean, for one, I will absolutely always remember. And for two, I probably won't ever get over it to some degree. So, I would rather be abandoned, because then I'm in the moral high ground, because I didn't betray anybody. If they betrayed me, that's one thing, and they'll go on the list of things that, whatever, I'm never going to forget, and I will never get over. And, like, whatever, I will cut them from my life. But I didn't do anything wrong, so I'd rather be abandoned, I guess. Would you rather have friends in high places who could get you anything you wanted but didn't necessarily care about you, or friends who couldn't give you anything but they feel a deep personal bond with you? Oh, that's freaking easy, dude. Friends with a stronger bond, absolutely. Would you rather find $10,000 and get it for yourself, or find $20,000 but have to split it 4 ways with your closest friends and family? Or no, it's split 20,000 with 4, so you're gonna get 5,000 apiece. So would you rather get 5,000, but whatever, like 4 other ways? So I guess what, 1 for my folks, and then or maybe it's like 1 apiece. Because if it's 4, well, if it's splitting it 4 ways, then I'm one of the parties. So it's like my folks, 1 for each of my sisters, and then for me. I think I'd rather split it. I'd rather get 20 grand and split it 4 ways, so all of my immediate family all got 5 grand apiece. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Would you rather cheat on your partner but never get caught, or know that your partner cheated on you but have no way of proving it? Get cheated on, because again, it falls back on that earlier one, which is I'm on the moral high ground because I did nothing wrong. And for me, it's always better to have something bad happen to me than me to do something bad to someone else, because I can figure out how I'm going to respond. But, like, if I did something wrong, then I'm just wrong. You know what I mean? So I definitely would never cheat, because again, betrayal. I'd rather get cheated on with no evidence to prove it, because I could choose to just leave and be like, you're a cheater and I can't prove it, but I know it's true. I know it's true, and you know it's true, and so this is over. So I could still just leave. I could still just leave her if she cheated on me. Anyway, would you rather get rich through illegal means, or be poor but live an honest life? Oh, that's easy. Poor but honest life. Would you rather press a button that would kill your favorite pet, or press a button that would kill your favorite family member? Okay, well, again, no offense to the pet, but like it's not human, and it's like, you know. Now again, like I know, like Ashley says that in Mass Effect, but the difference is that's an alien with a conscience. The thing is, in real life, there's just people and there's animals. Like, and even if I love that pet, like if I had to choose, I'm not gonna kill a flesh and blood human family member over a pet. Like, you know what I mean? So no offense to the pet, but goodbye pet. Would you rather get fired from a high-paying job or have your Wait, would you rather get fired from a high-paying job or fire your friends from a high-paying job? Fire your friends. Okay, well, assuming I had friends, would I want to fire them? Definitely not. I wouldn't want to get fired either. Fire my friends from a high-paying. So if I'm firing my friends, that to me says I'm a boss, says I'm their boss, because otherwise I couldn't fire anybody. I wouldn't want to get fired, but like, did my friends deserve it? Just because they're friends doesn't mean, I don't know, just because they're friends of mine doesn't mean necessarily that they didn't deserve to get fired. They might be lousy workers. But like, do I want to do the firing? Like, no. I don't know, they're both pretty lousy. I feel like I would rather get fired because it's just easier if I get fired and I can just leave rather than firing my friends. Like, I guess I'd rather get fired because there's other jobs, you know. Would you rather sleep with your step-sibling or sleep with your best friend's partner? Okay, hang on. Sorry, what? Would you rather sleep with your step-sibling or sleep with your best friend's partner? Wow, that's a question. Okay, so if I had a step-sibling, would I rather sleep with them or would I rather sleep with my best friend's partner? So if I had a best friend... See, but again, it's like, it's kind of a betrayal thing. Like... Again, it's kind of a betrayal thing. Like, the fact is, like, if it's my best friend's partner, that means they're in a relationship, right? And again, because, like, if they're my best friend, that was cheating. That's betrayal. Like, and, like, I think I'd rather just, like, I mean, for me, it's not really much of a contest. Like, I'm not doing the betrayal thing, so sorry. Would you rather save your best friend from certain death or let 1,000 strangers die would you rather save your best friend from certain death and let 1,000 strangers die, or save 1,000 strangers and let your best friend die? Well, that's easy. No offense to the strangers, but they're just strangers. Save my best friend. Easy clap. Would you rather get free food for the rest of your life or rescue a starving child from a third world country? I feel like I will figure out a way to survive. If I could rescue a starving child, I'd rather do that because, like, I can figure out the food thing. Like, you know what I mean? I've been doing pretty good so far, so. Would you rather be rich but without family or poor but with family? Well, I've done the poor thing with the family, and that worked pretty good, so. Would you rather have to steal food for the rest of your life in order to eat, or steal enormous amounts of money from the wealthy, but have to destroy the money immediately after? Weird. That's, like, really specific. I mean, but, like, every time to eat, you gotta steal. Every time? Like, I feel like I'd rather steal money from the wealthy and destroy it. Because, like, every time. Think about how often you eat. Like, I guess I'd rather steal money and destroy it. Because, again, like, I can survive with my current lifestyle, so... Would you rather serve 4 years in the military during wartime or move to a third world country and never be allowed to return home? Oh, God. Permanently, though. Third world means it's going to be dirt poor. And permanently, that's forever. I think I'd rather do military service, I think. Would you rather always be traveling 10 miles above the speed limit or 10 miles per hour below? Oh my God, above. I would die if I traveled 10 below. Would you rather never have sex for the remainder of your life or have to have sex every day in order to stay alive? Oh, that's freaking easy, dude. Easy. Would you rather be addicted to hardcore drugs for 10 years but make a full recovery or addicted to alcohol for the rest of your life? Oh my God. You think that was lightning or do you think that was someone's vehicle? It was enough to rattle the walls, so it's a little hard to say. Let me double check the weather and see if I can confirm. Oh no, I think that was thunder. Yeah, it's actually supposedly it's like raining and lightning and stuff outside. So that was not anyone's vehicle. That was thunder. That was loud. That like rattled the windows. Anyway, you guys might have been able to hear that. Anyway, okay, hardcore drugs or alcoholic? I guess alcoholic. I guess. Would you rather live to be 200 years old in a perfectly preserved, youthful body, and have to watch your friends and family die around you, or live to be 70 but die before your friends and family? I think I'd rather outlive my friends and family for 200 years, because, like, I feel like I know where I'm going after I die. I believe in an afterlife, like, and I'll see them again, is what I believe. But, like, and again, you know, that's a long time, but, like, live to be 70, there's so many more years you could have had, you know what I mean? Would you rather sacrifice all of your friends in order to survive, or sacrifice both of your parents? Well, I mean, that's easy, though. I'd rather sacrifice all of my friends, because I have 0, so take that. Would you rather get acknowledged for work that you didn't do, or work hard for the rest of your life but not receive any praise for it? Would you rather get acknowledged for work that you didn't do, or work hard for the rest of your life but not receive any praise for it? Well, I don't want to do that. Like, again, this is like morally, like the morally not right thing. Acknowledged for work I didn't do. I feel like I'd rather work hard but never get praise. Would you rather punch a nun or get punched by a nun? It's back. I can't believe it. I guess I'd rather punch a nun, I guess. Would you rather lose all the money you've earned this year or lose all the memories you've gained this year? I mean, I've lived a lot of life being poor. Like, I'd survive. Would you rather flip a coin for a chance to win $20 or immediately win $20? Or, no, immediately win 10. I'd definitely guaranteed 10. Guaranteed every time. Would you rather know how you die, or know when you'll die? I guess I'd rather know how, I guess. Would you rather be blind but able to see crystal clear underwater, or be deaf always? Yikes. That's like so specific, though. I don't know, man. Deaf sucks. Like, it's just silence all the time. Like, that would be so annoying. But, like, blind? You can't even see. Like, at least if I was blind except for underwater, like... Or no, I like deaf, yeah. I guess I would go deaf, because at least I could see. Because if you're blind all the time, like, you can't even enjoy a sunset or anything else. But at least if you're deaf, I could look at the pretty sky and clouds, and I guess deaf, I guess. Would you... And, well, plus, too, they, like, there's, you know, medical science is kind of crazy. Like, they can do lots of things now with, like, you know, adding things to your brain and to help you do stuff. Like, you know, there might be a way to medically get around it anyway. Anyway, would you rather give up all internet and social media but be able to travel the world for free, or have the best internet in the world but for free but never leave your house? Well, I don't know, the best internet in the world for free but never leave your house. Like, I don't know, like, I already sort of low-key do that. But, like, giving up all the internet and social media but be able to travel for free. Because, like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of, like, sites you want to see, but, like, there's a lot of countries you don't really want to go through to see the pretty sights. You know what I mean? Like, death is likely if for lots of places, you know, that you could go, you know. I guess best internet, but never leave home, because I could still do all my gaming stuff and all that stuff, and you know that's not that bad of a deal. Would you rather walk barefoot across a bed of hot coals, or walk barefoot through a pitch black snake infested corridor? Wow. Damn. Would you rather walk barefoot across a bed of hot coals, or walk barefoot through a pitch-black, snake-infested corridor? I mean, well, that's the thing, is you don't know. Are they venomous snakes? Like, are they gonna kill me if they bite me? You know? Like, barefoot across coals, I feel like is gonna do some very nasty, permanent damage to your feet. If they're not venomous, you could... Even if they are venomous, like, if you have anti-venom... You know, if you have anti-venom, you could survive. And if you did it fast enough or slow enough, if you did it so slow that they're like, whatever, not even totally aware of what's happening, or fast enough that they can't keep up. I don't know, like, some snakes are fast, but like, if I was like full-on beeline YOLO charging down this hallway, like, you're really telling me that all the snakes would do something? And a lot of snakes, like, at least most of them are going to avoid confrontation. Like, they're gonna want to leave. A lot of animals are like that. They're gonna want to leave. So like, really, I feel like I could just shuffle my way very slowly down this hallway, and I feel like most of them are going to just want to move. So I feel like I go for snakes in the dark, I think. Would you rather be the judge who sentences, well, no, I guess he said the judge who sentences people to death, or be the executioner in charge of killing them? Well, I mean, it would be, of course, way easier to be the judge. You know what I mean? Like, an executioner, I feel like, would make you really jaded. I guess I'd rather be the judge. Would you rather have a witch cast a nasty hex on you, you'll always have bad luck, or be haunted by a demon intent on possessing you? I mean, having bad luck could be certainly crippling. You know what I mean? Because, like, if I always have bad luck could mean whatever. You have a flat tire, or, you know, suddenly, oh, your bank account's empty. Like, it could straight up ruin your life. But I feel like the demon, like, again, if it's going by beliefs that I believe, a demon can't possess me without my, like, consent. You know what I mean? He can't, like, against my will possess me. And if you're following what I believe. Like, and on that front, he could try all he wants. He can't do anything. So I guess I'd rather be haunted by a demon. Would you rather be married to someone incredibly beautiful who doesn't find you attractive, yikes, or be married to someone that you're not even remotely attracted to, but they find you incredibly attractive? Oh, yikes. I mean, not attracted to me sucks because, like, they're never even gonna look at you like fine. Like, you just know that they're just like ugh. Like, I feel like that would be so painful on the self-esteem, you know what I mean? And even if I'm not attracted to them, like, I feel like at least that way you might be able to have a shot at, like, a peaceful marriage, you know? I guess that one, I guess. Would you rather work a high-paying job that you despise or a low-paying job that you love? Oh, that's easy, dude. Low-paying job that you love. If you love it, it's totally worth the not very much money. If you're happy. Like, if you can take care of yourself, even if it's not the most money in the world, because nothing is worse than trying to endure something you hate. Coming from someone who's had many jobs he hated. Would you rather walk 1 mile home wearing nothing but a pair of socks or be fully clothed but have to walk 100 miles to get home? Oh, that's easy, dude. I'll walk 100 miles to get home fully clothed. Because I'll tell you what, for my job, so I work 410s, generally speaking, and on an average week, I walk 10 miles a day, 10 to 12 miles a day, generally speaking. And so I walk 40 to 48, technically, miles a week for my job. So I would walk 100 miles because I know I could do it. Absolutely. Would you rather find $5 in your pocket or have to grab... Would you rather find $5 in your pocket or have to grab $100 out of a public toilet? Well, $100 in public toilet doesn't mean it's a non-clean toilet. Like, public toilets aren't always dirty, you know? Like, $5 in your pocket's pretty easy, but just because it's a public toilet doesn't mean it's like, you know, doesn't mean it's dirty. So, like, assuming it's a clean one, yeah, I'd do that. Would you rather have 100 of your favorite books but never watch a movie again, or have 100 of your favorite movies but never read a book again? Movies are pretty nice, but I do love books. I don't know, man. I feel like because like a lot of movies were books first, like, and I feel like if you give up, I mean, there's a lot of movies that weren't books, but like I feel like there's more books than movies. I feel like, and I feel like that like. I don't know. I feel like that I feel like the stage of my mind, I feel like is really good about coming up with images and I love movies a lot, you know, but like, if you think about all the books that you could read, I feel like I'd rather give up movies for books, I think. Would you rather always be 20 minutes late to everything or 2 hours early for everything? Oh, that's easy. 2 hours early, dude. I can't stand being late, even like a minute late, and I'm like pissed. If I'm not early, I feel like I'm late. So it's like, I would always rather be early, even super early. You can kill time. Would you rather find a dead body or be a witness to a deadly assault? I'd rather find a dead body because it wouldn't faze me that much, to be honest. Would you rather be able to change your past or see what the future holds for you? Change the past, absolutely. Would you rather have one really great friend or 100 mediocre friends? Another easy one. Great friend. Would you rather lose all of your teeth or lose 1 day off your life every time you kiss someone? Well, like, how often have I kissed someone? Like when you're like a little kid, like, you know, whatever, you like kiss people all the time. But like as an adult, like I've never kissed anybody. You know what I mean? Like I've never kissed anybody. Like, and I feel like again, you could tell like whatever. If your significant other was aware, you could be like, look, like I love you, we can have a great marriage, but I can't kiss you. You can kiss me, but I can't kiss you because of this whole 1 day off my life thing. So, like, I feel like you could absolutely make way around that. You could definitely survive. Because the whole losing all your teeth thing sounds like a nightmare. Would you rather win the lottery and lose the ticket before you can collect, or see your worst enemy win the lottery? Well, I feel like I'd rather see my worst enemy win the lottery because, like, for one, I don't have any, like, worst enemies, like, no one that I can think of, and I feel like you could easily just, whatever, move on with your life and pretend they don't exist, which is my usual go-to strategy for things I can't change. And fun fact, they do eventually go away, and you eventually learn to let them go. So, worst enemy for sure, because that whole, like, oops, almost won the lottery, I think would be terrible. Would you rather find true love or have your dream job? I feel like dream job, no offense, because like the true love thing, like look, I've been single this long and I'm feeling pretty fine. So it's like I feel like I'd rather have my dream job because at least if I'm gonna ride solo for my whole life, I'd rather have my dream job. So at least it was a really good ride. Would you rather have a pause button for life or a rewind button? Ooh. Well, again, having a rewind button is kind of like having a pause button anyway, because you could just rewind just a little bit, just like you were pausing. So I'd rather have a rewind, because it's just like a pause button. Would you rather drown to death in gasoline or get boiled to death in water? Wow. I mean, I don't know. What is like... I feel like it would burn, too. I guess boiled, I guess. Would you rather make a new friend every day or get $100 a day for doing nothing but never have friends again? The $100 a day but be friendless? Like, I'm already friendless, so it's like getting money, too, would be awesome. Would you rather die to save your family or sacrifice your family to save yourself? Again, like, I'd never rather, like, do something like that's morally bad, you know what I mean? That's just, like, make me feel better. I definitely give up my life for my family. Would you rather always be hated by those closest to you for something you didn't do, or have hurt everyone you care about, but they'll never find out it was you? I mean, I feel like I'd rather not get blamed, I guess? No, man, I don't know. Because, like, if you hated for something you didn't do, that could be anything. Picture something really nasty. Like, what if I, murdered somebody? They're like, I can't believe you murdered that guy. And I'm like, I didn't murder him. They're like, oh, I know it was you. Like, that would be so annoying. Like, I'd rather hurt everyone I love without being blamed. Like, I wouldn't rather do any of them. But, like, I don't know. Hated for something I didn't do. Well, I don't know. Maybe me being hated for something I didn't do might not be that bad. Because, like, they can say whatever they want, but, like, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, it's your word against theirs. Like, and even if they hated you for something you didn't do, you'd be like, I didn't do it, and you don't have to believe me, but I will die on this hill. Because, you know, I feel like they would just change the subject and you just move on. Like, it would be better, but, like, I'd really rather not hurt people I love, so I guess that's what we'll do. Would you rather sleep with your worst enemy or sleep with someone who you know has many incurable STDs? Well, worst enemy for sure, because, like, I feel like you could get past the worst enemy thing, and the STD thing, it sounds like a really bad deal. Would you rather only eat food you don't like, or give up all liquids except water? Well, all liquids except water would be definitely better, because I have an eating disorder, and, like, I would survive with, but, you know, I could just survive by giving up everything else. I would be incredibly depressed and sad about it, but over only eating food I hated, I'd be dead, because I couldn't make myself eat something I didn't like. So, you know, definitely the water one. Would you rather always listen to music at max volume, or always listen to music just above the lowest volume? I mean, max volume is really painful, and I felt like if you always did it this way, you would be able to hear it. Like, your ears, you would get used to being sensitive, you know what I mean? Like, having sensitive hearing, I feel like. Would you... I mean, but... Oh, I don't know, man. At the same time, if you think about, like, whatever... Like, my favorite band is AC/DC. Like, can you picture listening to AC/DC on almost the lowest volume? I feel like it would be very depressing. And I feel like if it was loud, I feel like if you had earbuds in, you could just move it away from your head so that it was, like, maybe the other one was better. I don't know. Would you rather meet your hero and find out they don't like you, or never meet your hero at all? Well, that's easy. I've always heard that they're, like, never meet your heroes because it's gonna, whatever, like, depress the shit out of you. So it's like, that's easy. Would you rather never have a pet for the rest of your life, or never have friends for the rest of your life? That's easy, never have pets. Would you rather live in excruciating pain for the rest of your life, or live pain-free, but everyone you know and love will live in excruciating pain for the rest of their lives? Well, but I'm not responsible for that. Like, you know, I'm not responsible for their excruciating pain. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, it's terrible, but, like, I'm not at fault for them being in pain, you know what I mean? And and I feel like they wouldn't know anyway. So if they were in excruciating pain, that would be terrible, but they don't know it. But, like, I don't feel like it would be my fault, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it would be, you know, and I feel like you could do something about the pain, right? Pain reducers, I don't know, like surgery. Like, I feel like there's something you could do. So it sounds terrible, but thank you for answering my questions. But we are not yet done, for we have made it through many categories except for one. These final questions will be from deep within. I want to see your soul. I want to see your heart beat quicken. I want to learn all that you know. I want to see what makes you think. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know your darkest truths. I want to know what makes you sick. I want to expel the truth from yourself. I want to feed on your precious fate. I want to learn all of your love and bathe in all of your hate. Man, his rhymes are so good, dude. They're so chilling. So one last time we sit together as we await the final revelation. He said the thing. These are the last questions I have. The last examination. I just love his rhymes, dude. They're so chilling. Like, they give you a tingle up your spine. It's amazing. Take your time, do think hard, savor every moment dearly. For when I am finally finished with you, you will see it all ever so clearly. And here we go. Ah, Joker! Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you most in this very moment. Define impetulant. I don't know. Hey Siri, what does impetulant mean?
Here's what I found.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, you guys like my Irish Siri? Okay, it means insolent or rude in speech or behavior. Okay, well that's not it. Volatile, is toxic, right? Unclean, I mean, whether you think morally or physically, neither are true. Probably insane, because I am a little bit low-key insane, I feel like, a lot of the time. Destructive, I feel like insane, I guess, maybe. Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you most in this very moment. Interested, I would say. You ever lie to those who are closest to you? I feel like everyone does at some point for something. Have you ever hurt someone whom you know didn't deserve it? I feel like we've answered these questions before. Probably, right? You were a teenager once, a kid once. You probably have done it at some point. Have you ever lost your temper when you know you shouldn't have? Yes, a lot of people do that. Have you ever intentionally hurt an animal? Intentionally? No. Have you ever blamed someone for something that you know they didn't do? I mean, when I was a teenager, probably, playing the blame game. Or I said no. I mean, okay, well, I guess we could say, as in my adult life, no, because that is true. Sorry, I was thinking yes, and I clicked on no. I don't know. Have you ever abandoned a pet? Leave them on the roadside? No. Or any other form of abandonment? Definitely not. Have you ever abandoned a loved one in their time of need? Not that I know of. Have you ever stolen something from someone you ever cared about? No. Have you ever broken something to spite someone that you cared about? No. Have you ever played the victim in a situation even though you hadn't been wronged? Ever played the victim in a situation even though you hadn't been wronged? No. Have you ever had romantic feelings for someone who wasn't your partner while you were in a relationship? No, because I've never been in a relationship. And even if I had, then I wouldn't. I don't know, I would quash those feelings down. You're in a relationship, let it go. Have you ever wished for the death of someone who had wronged you? Yes. Have you ever wished for the death of a loved one? Wish for the death of a loved one? No. If you knew that writing someone's name on a piece of paper would instantly cause their death, would you write down anyone's name? Yes. Definitely. Do you feel like you would spend more time with your loved ones than... Do you feel like that you could spend more time with your loved ones than you currently do? I feel like if I was able to, I would. Have you ever owed someone an apology but refused to apologize to them? Owed someone an apology but refused. I mean, I feel like even as a teenager, my family was always really quick to apologize, and I feel like that it didn't last very long, so I feel like probably no. If I knew I owed them an apology, eventually I did apologize. Do you ever regret worrying too much about things you can't control? Yes. Do you ever feel like your negativity brings other people down? Not in my adult life. Do you ever regret not standing up for yourself when you feel you've been wronged? I regret not doing it as a teenager earlier. Do you ever feel like you let others influence your decision-making too much? Sometimes, yes. Do you ever wish that you lived a more honest life? No, because I live a very honest life. Has your dishonesty ever caused someone else to suffer? No, because I'm always honest. Have you ever had someone leave your life before you had the chance to tell them something important? Nothing they didn't already know, and I haven't lost someone that's super close to me. I've lost a couple of grandparents, but their grandparents I didn't see a whole lot, and the ones that I saw more so, I feel like I did tell them, so it's not something super important. It's nothing they didn't already know. Do you ever feel like you prioritize people in your life that are unworthy of your time? No. It's the reason I have so few people in my life. I refuse to prioritize anyone that's not important. Do you ever feel like you prioritize your own wants before those who need you most? I mean, I sort of low-key know I prioritize me over others. Do you ever feel like you spend too much time working towards something that you're not truly passionate about? Yes, that's called work. Do you feel like you're living up to your full potential? I mean, I feel like I'm doing the best I can. Like long term, like if we're thinking like career, I'm not gonna stay delivering, packages forever. Like at least I hope. But I feel like I'm doing the best I can. So it's like I do feel like I'm living up to my potential because I'm doing the best I can right now. So do you ever let your fears stop you from pursuing things that you truly want? Not in my adult life, not anymore. Do you ever refuse to try something because you were afraid that you would fail? Ever? Yes, as a teenager, that was most of the things I did. Have you ever been attracted to someone but refused to let them know because you were afraid of being rejected? Yes. Especially as a teenager, lots of crushes, and, confessed to none of them. Do you ever feel as though you're chasing the wrong things in life? Not really. Do you ever feel like you spend so much time planning for the future that you ignore the present? Not really. Do you feel like your friends and family like you more than you like them? No. Have you ever loved a pet more than your family? I mean, ever? Like, during times of fighting, like when I had my dog, I probably loved my dog more than my family when we were fighting, so probably. Do you ever make up excuses to get out of going to an event instead of just telling the person who invited you that you just don't want to go? Yes. Do you ever feel like you spend more time with technology than you do building stronger bonds with your friends and family? I mean, like, I feel like I'm doing the best I can with my friends and family. Like, I feel like they don't, they're busy. Like, I feel like I don't have a choice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would drop a lot of things if it meant, like, people making time for me. But, I mean, no, I don't feel like I do anything wrong. Have you ever defended someone that you shouldn't have? Defended someone you shouldn't have? No. Do you sometimes have a hard time admitting when you're wrong? Yes. Do you ever place the blame for your personal failures on someone or something else? No. Have you ever accused someone of something with no real evidence to back it up? I mean, ever? Probably as like a teenager, like I said, throwing around blind accusations. Or even when you're an adult and you're pissed or whatever, maybe. Have you ever had sex with someone that you know you shouldn't have? No. Have you ever had any kind of relationship with someone you know you shouldn't have? No. Have you ever let a relationship degrade because you were afraid of being the one to break up with someone? Have you ever let a relationship degrade because you were afraid of having to be the one to break up? I mean, no, because I've never been in a relationship. Do you ever feel like you could take better care of your own health? I mean, I feel like I'm doing a really good job. I'm doing better health-wise than I ever have, and I'm more conscious about it than I ever have been. So I don't feel like I could do better than this, no. I mean, currently, randomly, over the last week or two, I've had more of an overeating problem than normal, but it's because I'm stressed. It's because I'm dealing with things, and stress eating is a thing for me, so it's like, it's a circle, it's a cycle, it happens, don't worry about it. Anyway, have you ever let someone else take the blame for something that you did? I mean, ever? Probably at some point. Have you ever acquired something that you didn't really want because someone else wanted it? No. Do you ever feel... I mean, because, like, if the sole reason was because it was someone else wanted it? No. Do you ever feel like you're not living up to others' expectations? I mean, whatever. Your parents or siblings probably have a certain expectation for you, like they want something for you, but it doesn't mean it's what you want for you. So, there's probably, I don't know. Have you ever walked out of someone's life without any explanation? Like, completely? I guess technically yes, because like I have had friends in my life. Like when I was like a teenager, I had a couple of friends I was really close with. But like the older we got, like I don't know, I changed as I got older. My beliefs changed and what I prioritized changed, and like I don't know, I changed a lot as I got older. And my old friends from when I was a teenager and like a really early adult didn't change. And so I just sort of like, eventually we just hung out less and less, and eventually you just don't hang out anymore. Like, and then you just don't really see each other, and then you move, and things happen. So yeah, I suppose so, technically. Because I didn't like stop and explain like, you're the same as you were when I was a teenager, and it's not good for my mental health, so I'm leaving you behind. It's not like I did that. Do you ever feel like you focus more on the negative aspects of your life and what you don't have rather than being grateful for what you do have? I mean, not. I feel like I'm really shockingly aware of what I do have, because like recently I think all the time about like I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Like that thought happens to me all the time. So not really. Have you ever witnessed someone being wronged but didn't have the courage to stand up for them? When I was like a teenager, like for like bullies and stuff, like yeah, probably. And finally, do you feel like you're a good person? Yes, I do think, generally speaking, I do think I'm a good person. That concludes the ending of your examination. In your mind, I have dug myself a hole. I will analyze your answers very carefully, and now it's time for me to gaze into your soul. Ooh, it's happening. It's happening! This is preposterous. This simply cannot be. I have expected every potential outcome, but yours seems to have evaded even me. I was prepared to tell you of your fate, to play upon your fear, to break the worst of news to you, to plant seeds of doubt within your ear. But as I've asked you to be honest with me, I must in turn be just as honest with you. For as much as I wish to lie, I am forever shackled to the truth. From what I can deduct from deep within, from everything you've shared with me. In return, I shall share this with you. This is what I see. One word describes you more than any other. Ooh, the feels music is coming on. That word is talented. Really? That's the word? Personally, I think you're more talented than you realize. I mean, that's probably true. And I think you're more talented than anyone else realizes as well. I'm willing to bet that's true. If you just spend a little bit less time in your own head, you might get a lot further. I feel like, yeah, as usual, just like the first two, I think this is probably going to hit really close to home. If you are by far your own worst enemy. You need to seriously cut that shit out and start trusting your natural talents and abilities more. Yeah, I think he's right. No one knows you better than you. However, you must pay heed to this warning. You're way too overcritical of yourself at times, and it can lead you to breaking yourself down any further than you ever should. Yeah, I think that's true. If you're not careful, it can ruin your entire potential to be successful in life just by not paying attention to when you need to self-reflect, and when you need to give yourself the credit you deserve. Start being more positive. You'll do just fine. Your secret word is talented. Remember this word. This will come in handy. Gasp. Thanks, man. Yeah, I feel like he has a point. If you received an ending that you've already received before from previous examinations, remember, we did not ask you your secret words prior to taking this test, so that should be very telling. It means something very special. If your result was the same as something you've got previously, we'd like you to add the phrase twin words next to your secret word in the comments. If you received an entirely new outcome, then that means you've got multiple layers of things to work on in your journey, or you may just have an extra layer of depth to your personality, but only you know the answer to that. You've answered hundreds of questions. You've found deeper meanings. You've been enlightened, and you've helped others find enlightenment. Many people have wondered just what this test series is truly about. But it's simple. The answers are always so much more simple than we believe them to be. The test is about you. The reflection in your darkened screen, the one who seeks the answers. The person who seeks the answers. More than being about the answers, the test is more so about the questions. It's about making you think. It's about encouraging you to open up and admit that you're human. Just as human as everyone else. The test is about unity. The test is about compassion. The test is about bringing people together and showing the world that we're not so different after all. Look at all the secret words that have been left in the comments. Look at all the hundreds of thousands of people who are just like you. We all feel so lonely sometimes. We all feel flawed. We all feel pain. But that's because every single one of us is human. The world judges one another based on so many variables, but they're the most hypocritical set of variables imaginable. We judge each other, and are judged ourselves by our peers who do the same exact shit that they judge us for in the end. And that we judge them for too. You feel flawed because you are flawed. You feel afraid because you have the right to be. You feel overwhelmed because the world is overwhelming. Depression is overwhelming. Anxiety is overwhelming. Our problems are overwhelming. Suicide is an epidemic. We are losing loved ones before their time, and any one of us can fall on the hardest times in our lives at any given moment. We can lose everything we know and love instantly and unexpectedly. But one thing that we are not is alone. You are never alone. We're all flawed because we're all human. We're all scared because we're all human. We all fight these battles every single day because we're all human. But you never have to be alone in your fight to feel alone in your fight. Look at all of the secret words that have been gathered that match yours. Look at all of the words that don't match yours. Perhaps those people are going through struggles that you have yet to experience, to know or know nothing about. And perhaps some others know not of yours either. But don't judge those who are struggling. Help them, just as you wish to be helped in your time of need. Don't be afraid to ask for help and reach out to those who are. Everyone is suffering. Some of us just suffer quieter than others. We are all in this together. The test series has helped bring so many people together and make so many people feel less alone. We've read your comments, and others are free to do so as well. We've read about how these games have helped you. We've read about how much positivity they've spread. We've read how many people say their lives are forever changed, and I'll tell you one thing. If even one life was saved in the process of this social experiment, then it was worth conducting, and every single one of you that left a comment is a hero. By leaving comments, you've helped spread the message out to others. You've helped spread a positive light in a very dark time for so many people, and those people have you to thank for it. There are so many people in this world who do nothing for others, and they'll continue to do nothing for others. They won't lift a finger to help others around them because they don't understand that someone is suffering just as much as they are. They're just too afraid to open up about it. But not us. We've all opened up quite a lot, haven't we? We were brave enough to answer these questions that so many people fear admitting to. We were brave enough to take a chance and leave a secret word as a symbol of our participation. And for that, Random Studios would like to thank you by not only placing your name in the credits at the end of this game so the world knows of your good deeds in spreading the world and participating, but we've also got another surprise for you. Everyone who has left a comment on our titles and continues to do so on future titles will be put into the credits of our new massive project that we've been working on, but that's not the good part. We will also be going through and selecting names from those who leave comments on all of our titles and putting their names right into the actual game and storyline, whether it be a special item, a piece of the lore, or a character named after them, and much more. You've contributed your time and energy and helped others in need. We want to make sure you're commemorated for your efforts and get the admiration you deserve. Now, as far as your secret words go. Your secret words will play a pivotal role in our new project. We will plug your secret words into different parts of your journey when they are requested of you, and they will alter the game in a way uniquely set for your specific words. This is an RPG where every choice matters, where every decision you make changes something about your session. This is an RPG that focuses on every human emotion and the decisions we make and how those decisions make us feel. Keep an eye out in the future for our main project, Chasing Demons, where every NPC from all of our titles will be represented with a storyline, and the world will get to see how they all tie in together. You helped shape it. You helped make it what it is. And we will be sure to continue to add more and more players into the lore and gameplay as we read more and more of the comments left in our titles all the way up until its official release. And again, to commemorate those who participated across all of our titles, we will be periodically selecting names from all of our titles. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, and how you continue to do, and everything you continue to do for the world. We greatly appreciate your feedback and support. We've read every single review and comment left for us. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for playing, and thank you for contributing your secret words in our projects. Aw, dude, the feels! A word from the developers. If any of these games even save one life, it was all worth it, and that means you're a part of that. You're a part of saving someone's life. Most people will live their entire lives never having done something special like that. Even if you didn't particularly find anything useful for yourself from the test series, just by you spreading the word, you've helped others who do find something beneficial from this series, who really could use help in their time of need, as shown in the plethora of positive and inspirational comments left on the series as a whole. So thank you for spreading the word and helping so many people who really truly need it. Some will go their entire lives living selfishly, never lifting a finger to help someone else unless it personally benefits themselves. I'm sure you've met some people like that in your lifetime, and that's okay. There's a place for all types of people in the world. We need people like that to create balance. We need the selfish with the selfless. We need the good with the bad. We need the happiness with the sadness. We need it all in order to appreciate what we have and what we don't have. But these games have helped people, and that means you've helped people. If you've left a comment, you were a part of this. If you continue to leave comments, you continue to be a part of this. If you shared this, you've helped someone. If you don't believe me, take a look for yourself and read some of the words people have left for the rest of the world to see. Look at the joy and positivity you've helped spread throughout the world in such a dark, dark time where people are sick and dying, people are separated by some difference or indifference. The one thing we all have in common is that we're all human inside. It doesn't matter where you're from, how you grew up, what we've been through, what our opinions and preferences are, what we enjoy, what we dislike, how we judge, and are judged. In the end, we're all human. We all feel. We all have the same thoughts, the same feelings, and emotions, and each and every person living amongst us has their own lives. Each person is the center of their own universe. I'm not going fast enough. Every individual has their own family, their own friends and circle. They mean everything to the world. That means something to someone, even when they don't feel like it. They do. Trust me, you do. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for encouraging other people to be a part of this. Thank you for spreading something so uniting in such a divisive world. Thank you for opening up your heart and your mind in order to create acceptance, not only for everyone else, but for yourself as well. Even in our differences, we aren't so different after all, and we're in this world together, so let's make it a happy stay for everyone. Aw, dude, that's such a great game. It's such a great message. Oh, the feels. Man, I was like, towards the end there, I was really panicking trying to get caught up. We would also like to give a very special shout out to Markiplier and his community for supporting us through our other titles. That was how I found this game, actually. It really meant so much to us as long-time fans, and the amount of joy you bring to the rest of the world through your content and your community support is second to none. Thank you for being you, and we really hope you get a punch of none at some point in the near future. We want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and may your life be flooded with the happiness you deserve. Oh, dude, that's so cool, because yeah, that actually is how I found this game, was because Markiplier played it, and that was how I heard of it, and I hadn't heard of it before, and that was how I found this series, I should say. Now, since then, I've actually wishlisted a couple things from these developers on my Steam, and that's been super cool. As a side note to anyone and everyone who has taken the time to be here, we also have developed a game called the Testing Chamber, which can be considered connected to the Test Trilogy in a very special way. So feel free to check that out, as we think it's quite a unique experience. It's actually already on my Steam wishlist. If you've enjoyed what the Test Trilogy has to offer, then we truly believe that you'll love the playstyle of the Testing Chamber, as it takes everything that its predecessors offered and amplifies the experience to an unprecedented degree. We genuinely hope you give the Testing Chamber a chance, so as we've spent countless hours of passionate development making it into what it is, and we hope after playing it that it means as much to you as it does to us. In the meantime, we would like to recommend our title called The Advisor to you. We feel that it provides a great opportunity for player/developer interaction and allows players to cast their vote on where the story should head. It's a choices matter style of game that's never been done before, as you, the player, are responsible for how the story is written in future episodes. Thank you for listening to us pour our hearts out about our passion projects. We put a lot of time and effort into what we build, and we just want the same thing that everyone else wants in life, a chance. With that being said, keep a hold of your secret words. You're going to need them for when you're chasing demons. Get it? Ooh. I will peel the truth from your flesh like petals from a blackened rose. She loves me. Don't do this. She loves me not. She loves me. Please, I beg of you. She loves me not. God! What is happening? She loves me. She loves me not. She will never love a monster like you. Ooh, got him. So let her choice take its toll. And in her cell, may she rot. We'd also like to give a very special shout out to Markiplier and his community for supporting us through all the others. Meant so much to lifelong fans. We already saw all this. I'm just curious. Other games. Oh, hang on a minute. We wish you all the best in the future endeavors. If you go to the title screen of the game, click on Other Games, you'll find Markiplier's new project, In Space with Markiplier. Oh, cool. Look at that. They actually linked it. That's neato. Anyway. Hey, look at that, guys. Other titles, other game section. Oh, the Art of the Dad Joke, Testing Chamber. I think that one's on my wish list. I'm not positive about the Advisor. Journey, Horoscope, Confession, Medieval Fantasy Survival Simulator, Twins, Summoning. So wow, they have a lot more than I thought. Survivor, Thrive, Quickly Quiz Show. The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck do you know? Many more. Wow, that's so cool, dude. Yeah, we'll have to check out some of the other stuff. We made a list of names of those who support our project along the way. We will be continuing to expand the list as would you like to see them now? No, thank you. Well, there you go, kids. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the test series. There is the testing chamber, like they pointed out, and we'll probably end up doing that at some point. It is on my Steam wish list, but this is the final test game, so to speak. So, but yeah, what a cool game, dude. What a cool series. It was just, I don't know, it was just so fun. I saw Markiplier play the first one, and I don't know if he did the other ones at any point or whatever, but I know he did the first one, and that's how I found it. And obviously now on my channel, we have done all three. And so by the time if you're seeing this, and yeah, it was just, it's a great time. It's a great game. It's a really fun self-reflection, and I love the message, you know. I love the message for all of that. I just think it's super cool. And yeah, I just think they're really well-made games, and I just think they're really unique and fun, and I think it's a great way of some really fun self-reflection and looking deeper, and I do like that they're kind of social experiment that this all ended up being. And I imagine if you go to like whatever, like the Steam comments, maybe that's where they're talking about. I'm not sure what they mean by comments, which is the reason I've never participated, because I'm not sure what they mean by comments, like where there's a site, Steam, what are they talking about? So I'm not positive what they mean by that. But in principle, I would imagine that you can find probably like the secret words on wherever they're talking about, and you know, and I do like their goal behind it, and you know, uniting people, and it's just really cool. It's a very positive experience, and the title screens make it all look so creepy, but like once you're actually, you know, in the game, it's not that creepy. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it was just a really good time. Anyway, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.